Imagine a space for South Asian women where stories are not just told, but actually felt. This is ROOH, Rising Over Obstacles and Healing, brought to you by Jyoti and Monica, two friends who set out to carve a little space and make a difference by sharing stories and fostering healing and strength within our community. We invite you to listen and reflect, finding your own path one story at a time. And just for sticking around, there's a golden biscuit at the end of each episode. Hi, welcome back to ROOH. So today we are going to talk about something that's on a lot of women's minds, particularly unmarried South Asian women. And I thought, let's start with sharing our own experience. So Monica, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What was dating like for you?
Dating it was more like what was not allowed for you.
Yeah. So
Really?
How would you describe your dating experience?
My dating experience is my marriage experience.
Really?
Well, you know what it was? I think because I was so young when I got married, it's not like I got to have that, right? Which I kind of remember a few years later into it, and I was like, oh, like I never got to have that, I guess, fun, you could kind of say, of like going on a date and meeting guys and things like that, and just getting those feelings, like those butterfly feelings that you'd get, like talking to someone, having a little crush or feelings. And also the fact that I was dating my husband internationally, or long distance, as you would say. Like we weren't really dating. So I didn't get to have that experience. It was just
talking on the phone.
Yeah, it was talking on the phone.
Hiding it from your parents.
Hiding it from the parents, email calls, things like that. It was probably a bit more on the thrilling side, I guess you could say, right? Because it's if you did decide to go venture out that way, with the way you were not supposed to be dating someone, and then you did decide to finally go that route. Like it was hiding. It was almost kind of similar to a Bollywood movie, but without all that, the frills of it, I guess.
Yeah. That's funny because it almost sounds like you're describing my experience. So we are two very well experienced women when it comes to dating.
Oh, yeah. We should be giving out advice.
Yes, we should absolutely be giving out advice to all the women out there. Not. So our experience, whatever we have, I know we're joking about it, but it's a lot more, I guess, than what our moms had, right?
Oh,
At least we got to talk to our husbands, and we got to actually get to know them.
Did your mom get to see your dad before she got married? Because I know my mom didn't. My mom did not. No.
Yeah. So your mom just said yes without seeing your dad?
Yeah. And it was something that totally would not have happened. It was just the circumstances. Like her father had just passed away, and then I guess immediately the elders in the family just thought like, oh, great. There's, these like 5 children now that are unmarried, 4 are girls. We got to get a move on it. Yeah. And, the situation was kind of like that. So obviously she got a great guy, but so what it was my mom's older sister went with my Nani Ji, and, she met him, she saw him, she's like, yeah. And my mom was like, okay, so, if my mom says yes, then he must be
the one.
That's fine.
Wow.
Must be the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So so the way I hear my parents' story, my mom got to see my dad, and we would joke about this all the time because my mom, she's very beautiful, and not to say that my dad wasn't a handsome guy, but he was quite a bit older than her. And so we would tease him, or we would say like, Dad, when you saw Mom, you must have said yes right away.
Yeah,
and
like he won the lottery.
He's like, no, actually, he's like, I was going to say no to her. And we were like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you were going to say no to Mom? And he goes, minnu pata si nahi te minnu na kar deni hai. And he's like, I didn't want to be rejected. So he's like, main pehla reject karunga. And then he goes, but somehow I heard through the grapevine that she was going to say yes. So then I said yes. So So then we asked my mom, we were like, okay, well, you said yes to dad right away. And she goes, was there a choice? She's like, back in our day, yes, I got to see your dad, but she's like, there was no choice. She's one of 6 sisters.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing, kind of like, got to get them married off. And my dad came from a good family. He was a good man. And that's it, So they didn't really get to date. And we didn't really get to date, but, we got to know our husbands before we married them. So it wasn't a surprise, right? Like we kind of knew what their personalities were like. So now the times have come where I think dating is definitely a lot more accepted and women are allowed to date openly, I would say. And the one thing that I've been hearing lately is that it's just very difficult. The world of dating is not easy. So
I hear it's like slim pickings out there.
Yeah, right? And I think one person actually went as far as saying, she was like, it's an epidemic. She's like, we cannot find good men out there. And I'm like, we have to find out what's going on. So to get a pulse on this topic, we have 2 beautiful women in their 30s, South Asian women, who are going to share the dish with us. So welcome to the show, KJ and Sandeep. We're so happy to have you guys.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So who wants to go first, KJ or Sandeep?
KJ.
How did that not surprise me?
Okay, so I guess I'll kind of summarize it for the both of us because, I always say this. Anyone that is dating right now or is in the dating pool looking, especially as a South Asian girl, I feel bad for because it has become such a challenge. Like you said, someone said it's an epidemic. I 100% agree. It's been such a challenge because nowadays, like now we have social media, we have dating apps. We still have our mothers trying to look.
Yeah.
But we have all these opinions and we have all these options. So it's just become really difficult because
the pool is larger to choose from.
The pool is larger, but I feel like the quality of people is not as large. And like on your end, even if you find someone that is, let's say, checks off your boxes and you're interested in, now this one person is also talking to many other girls. It's not like this one-on-one thing anymore. And I didn't realize that until I myself got into dating. And I started dating maybe in my mid-20s, which is still very late for my generation.
Yeah.
And when I started, I was like, oh, like everyone talks to one person, right? Wrong. Like I was so wrong. I didn't know that other people are talking to like 5 other people or 6 other people. It's just like an option. It's just like next. Oh, you got, this doesn't work out, next. So that itself creates a big problem. And then on top of that, as South Asian women, we're so limited with our dating pool because now we have to find someone within our culture.
Yeah.
Then when you break it down to culture, now we have to find someone within the religion. So it just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and our options are already so limited with the entire pool.
Yeah.
As is. So now we have to find people within our small pool who also are looking for other people with the social media, the DMing, the swiping left, right. It's become just pictures left, right.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of summarizes like how you even choose a person to talk to. This is not even like, I'm not even going into what it's like being on a date.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just choosing who you want to have a conversation with.
It's almost like when you're on Netflix and you're like, I want to watch a TV show or a movie, and you're just there and you just keep like, I mean, I'm sure, it's not as serious, but the way you're describing it, it's like there's just so many choices there. And then even when you do choose, you don't know how honest or how available is that person to you on the other end.
Exactly. And at least on Netflix, they're telling the truth of the description of the show or the movie, right? Like they're like, this is the movie, this is how many stars it has or ratings. And this is what it's about.
Yeah.
So Netflix is still better than what we're going through, because now you can post a profile and be like, yeah, I don't smoke. Yeah, I don't drink. Yeah, I mean, just using an example.
But
I don't do this and that. And it's so crazy because I've come across profiles that like I've known these people in person and I'm like, this is not you. Like, and forget about single people. There's people that are also married.
Oh my gosh.
On those dating apps. And so scary because it's like you can literally trick anybody that does not know you. You can change your location now. You can say I'm from, Florida. That's another component of like who's being honest and who's not.
And there's no genuine connection, right? Like before it used to be when you did physically meet this person. So yes, like both Jyoti and I, we did have long distance relationships, but we did at one point physically, personally meet our current husbands in person. It wasn't just someone online, like per se, some random stranger. Like we did have that connection, which kind of we followed through later with communication.
I don't know how common catfishing was back days. And the whole ghosting, catfishing
was not common. We didn't even know those terms.
All these terms.
Yeah.
But just to summarize it for me, and, I can speak for many other girls because I have friends that were single using these apps or are single. And I feel like we went through the same experience to the point where I'm like, I feel like we're talking to the same people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's my take. I mean, Sandeep can give you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, dating now is all online. It's just about apps, and it's like you're talking to these people on the apps, and maybe then you can exchange phone numbers and you're talking to them from the comfort of your home or from the comfort of your car. No one finds time to see you in person. People will flirt with you, and that's what they expect, and there's no connection. They try to find connection with you. They talk big. I don't know, like it's just very strange. And you're talking to strangers. For some people, it's very easy to talk because I think they're talking to not one person. Like just like KJ said, people are talking to multiple people, so it's very easy for them to talk to this person, and after 10 minutes, they might be talking to somebody else saying the same thing. It's not really from the heart.
Yeah. I mean, also the other thing too, and actually before we get into this, I just have to say that if it came down to like you're picking a show or a movie to watch on Netflix, if I wasn't married and I was trying to find a husband right now, there's no way it would happen because I fall asleep before even picking out a movie or show. I get exhausted by looking at all the choices.
Yes.
I read
real.
I read all the descriptions and I'm like, oh, this show sounds interesting. This one sounds interesting. And then I'm like, well, my time is valuable. So, after the kids and everything else that's going on in my life, if I do make time for TV, it has to be worth my time. So in just trying to decide, I fall asleep. So I'd be screwed right now,
Yeah, it's like you're measuring people just through the app. You're literally trying to measure what they are, who they are, what they look like, trying to figure out their qualities.
But like, as she said, like you have to put so much time and effort into it. And especially when you use it for like months or years. I know people use it for years. It's like, you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to swipe. And like, everyone's like constantly, your parents will say it. And which is weird because like in our generation, maybe like 10, 15 years back, these same parents were like, no, like don't talk to boys and focus on school and stay away from the boys. And now they're like, why aren't you on the apps? And I'm like, I can't believe like your mom is saying this to you, like I'm like, really? Like and she's so religious and she's a very cultured woman. And she's telling me, she's like, everyone's like meeting on the apps now. Like you should go. And I'm like, to someone that doesn't use it, they feel like dating apps, like everyone's honest. There's so many options out there. There's pictures. There's no one realizes that like half the time they're fake, or half the time a lot of other people's intentions aren't to get married. A lot of people, and I can only speak from a girl's point of view, a lot of guys are on there not for serious intentions. And it's so common
just for
where
a
like
fun time.
I used to match and they used to be like, I'm just letting you know I'm not looking for marriage. And I'd be like, okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And there are girls too that are on there for that reason too. So that's another obstacle. You know, once you even come across someone, you're like, okay, maybe we'll start a conversation. Maybe we're compatible. You go through your check boxes, you go through their profile, their description, and then you match. And then they're like, I'm not looking for marriage. So it's such a big problem where it has put a lot of people off to these dating apps. Like, and I'm talking about like Hinge. Hinge is a big one that a lot of single people are on. A lot of my friends met people through Hinge that they ended up either dating long term or getting married to. Hinge is a big one. Bumble, Tinder, everybody knows is
Not
a hookup app.
Tinder has a name for sure.
It's just people just know which ones are the more serious ones, which ones are just for hookup. Like that's what it's been categorized into. But even the ones that are like serious, people are using it for their own agenda, whatever they want.
Yeah.
So it makes it really hard for, I would say, all women that are looking to settle down and get married and look for something on there. It's really, really hard. It's very off-putting too.
Yeah.
Like you said, like maybe you wouldn't put in that much time, you know? And it's true because that's what we do. Like we will go on it. I'll delete it for months because of how off-putting, like I've had an experience of like, let's say I meet someone and I've met a weirdo now. And now like we went on the date, whatever, date was bad. And let's say I match with someone else, we go on another date, bad, another bad experience, it makes you not want to go on. It makes you want to delete your profile and just call it, like take a break or call it quits.
Sometimes I wonder, because this shift almost happened like overnight, where it was like, no looking at boys, no talking to boys, and you just kind of put your head down, you're, studying. A lot of women, especially like South Asian women that I've come across, are very accomplished and have great careers because that's kind of what they were told to focus on. Focus on your studies, focus on getting a good job, and that's what a lot of women did. So dating, I feel like, is, and like anything else, the sooner you start, the better you get at it, the more experience you have, the better you are at, I guess, even understanding the opposite gender and learning about yourself, even as far as what you're looking for in a life partner. But if you're told, don't even look at boys and dating is a taboo, then all of a sudden 10 years go by and it's like, oh, well, why aren't you getting married? You should be out there. You should be looking at dating apps. It's almost like, well, when it was my time, when I could have figured out what was right or not for me, I wasn't allowed to do this. And now all of a sudden you expect me to be really good at it.
Yeah,
right? It's almost like a skill you have to learn.
Yeah, it's a skill. And also it's something that you learn while you're amongst your own peer groups, right? So when you're in college and then even when you're fresh into working, like straight out of university or whatever it is, you are more amongst like, your own peer groups, those that are mostly single. So you're able to interact with people personally and see on your own and judge them whether you have a connection or not. And, you're more free to be able to do those things. I feel like you also have a younger mindset for both genders. So you're a bit more flexible, not really truly set in your ways. And, you're able to make decisions, like you said, about your life a bit more freely because there aren't so many constraints.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. When you start dating a little later, even in like mid-20s or late 20s or early 30s, whenever you feel like you're ready to, find the one, I feel like you said, you know a lot about yourself. Like, you know what you can tolerate, your boundaries. In the beginning, like when I started, I remember I used to be like, go to my friend who has been dating since like high school. I'd be like, is this normal for a guy to say? Like, this guy just told me this. Like, is this normal? Like, I'd always go to her, refer back to her. And it's funny because everyone is going to have their own experience of a situation and of a person. So it's hard to go by someone else's experience of it, but you don't know what else to compare it to.
Yeah.
You didn't have that experience in high school or college or whatever the case is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like right now, when I talk to a lot of my friends, and I have a different mix of friends, when we sit down, we do talk about like dating and boys and the apps. I think whether you've been on many dates or dated many people or been in many relationships, we're all really in the same boat right now of this problem, I guess. Like we come across ghosting, like things will be going really well and then someone just cuts communication off. That's so common. And I'm not sure why it really happens. I can share from my experiences. Probably it's that that person has either found someone that they think is better in terms of either looks or personality, or it could be that they're possibly going through something, some personal, something has happened. But I'm like, wow, like it can't be everybody going through something, you know? But this whole ghosting is so big and it's so normal now that like we have to say, we're like, oh yeah, like, oh, this person ghosted this person, or this person, oh, I got ghosted. Like it's so common and it's so normal because now people don't have the decency to be like, even like, hey, you know what? I don't think this is working, or hey, I don't think we're compatible, or hey, I have a connection with someone. Like people are not honest anymore about what they're looking for, about how they feel about you. And all the way up to like ghosting, they'll be like, yes, like you're the one. Love bombing. That's another term.
Yes, I've heard that a
Love
lot
bomb
recently
you.
too. Yeah.
You are the woman of my dreams. You're the most beautiful. You make me feel, I've never felt this way about anybody. Telling you all these things that, you know, usually in a normal relationship, it takes weeks or months to build for someone to say, I love you and you are the woman of my dreams, or you are the love of my life. I feel like that takes time. I feel like you don't just come on an app and you just say that to somebody. And a lot of times, because, you know, women are emotional.
Yeah.
I say we're emotional creatures, and women go based off of emotion and words. A lot of times it's easy for guys to manipulate girls and say these things to them and kind of reel them in. And it's used very negatively. Like it's not something that you want to go through. It's usually not for any good reason.
Well, how do you know when someone's love bombing? Is it because of the timeline? Because it just happens very quickly?
I believe it's the timeline. I believe, yes. If you just start talking to someone like 2 days ago and they tell you that you're the love of their life, I think you should run.
Yeah.
I think you should go the other way. Definitely. But if this happens in like 6 months, you guys dated, you guys spent time together, you guys really know each other, you guys both have these strong feelings for each other, then yes, like it makes sense.
You can believe it then.
And even then, they can tell you something and may not mean it, but that's...
Yeah. So I think back in our day, the pool of candidates, for lack of a better term, was much smaller. So it was limited to people that we knew, or, you know, friends of friends or family friends or whatnot. So you had someone who could vouch for this person. So it wasn't like a random person that you met that your family or friends did not know. Usually you found at least like 2-3 families that knew this person, so that you could vet them out and just make sure that this person was of good character and whatnot. So I know, like, even with my husband, we had a lot of family friends in common. So, and they all vouched for him and his family. And that's what made my parents feel better about sending me all the way across the country, pretty much, you know? And I think that's lacking nowadays. You know, like you said, the pool is so much larger, but the quality has just gone down.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what it's different, like meeting someone organically or through someone.
Yeah.
The benefit is that, like you said, like people can vouch for this person. But when you're on these apps, all you have is what they're telling you and what they're putting up. And you have to go based on pictures too, which kind of sucks too, because I feel like that also takes away from personality. Like, sometimes you'll see someone in pictures and they look nothing like what they do in person. It could be worse or it could be better. Like in person, they could even may look better than what they have up. And it's really hard because now the only thing we have left to go by is this face and the description that they put up.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about like meeting someone through family and friends? Have you tried that?
Yeah, you can meet someone through family. That's fine. But sometimes I think about this. Like even these guys that we meet online, sometimes they have audacity to say things that they shouldn't say to a girl they just met online through an app. I'm like, these guys also have families, and to their families, these are good guys, right? And we know they're real, who they are, because they're just thinking, oh, this girl is just from an app, and nobody knows her. She will not say anything to anybody. Back of my head, I always question that about people. Like,
oh yeah, So basically, you think that even if like friends or family introduced you to someone, even the family may not know the real person, who they really are.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And usually, I think everyone's pretty good at presenting a very nice, clean front to their family. I don't think
we all are, right? Like, we're all guilty of that.
Yeah, we were all very good children for our parents.
I definitely feel like when you have family involved, and let's say like they bring you someone nice, right? When it's through family, there's more pressure, one, and two, you're only going to hear good from the parents, from the sister, brother, whoever. They're never going to tell you, hey, I'm sorry, but my kid, he just drinks a lot on the weekends, but he's a great guy, Monday through Friday. Like, they're going to be like, my kid is the best kid in the world. He's the most kind. He's the this and then that. So when you have family involved, I don't think you get the real authentic version of them unless they are good people.
Yeah.
Unless they are good people. But then again, because we've went through these dating apps and have seen even people that we do know on there that are like lying, it's like your trust issues are there now. Like, really? Like, is this guy a good guy? Which I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for it, because at the end of the day, I do think dating and marriage is a risk that you have to take, because you truly never know someone. This is what people that are married that tell me, you guys would know best. You truly never know someone until you live with them. That's what I've been told.
Yep. Pretty much.
So sometimes maybe you can date someone or go through the proposal and everything can go right and everything can go well. And you have to take that risk of getting married and really truly knowing this person. Sometimes they say you don't know someone until you travel with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say you don't know them till you live with them. So I'm not saying, don't go for what your family is bringing. Definitely. Like, yes, like my family will ask me, oh, consider this person or that person.
But how someone treats you in the beginning too, it matters a lot. It matters a lot, especially when you're a stranger. It's something that you should always pay attention to, because if that's how they're treating you, how they're talking to you, it shows who they are.
So what do you think the solution is?
I think for a person like me, I've been doing it wrong. I shouldn't do this just online dating. I never felt connection with someone, I met online. It was always very organically, either I was at work or, if I was out somewhere. I just never used to pay attention. Out in a restaurant somewhere and someone approached me, I just wouldn't. I was in college. I was like, well, I still have time. And even at that time, our parents were very strict. I always find that connection, it should be genuine and not just measuring people through the apps and then adding them on your social media and just talking over the phone, trying to figure them out.
Yeah, I don't know if social media has actually done any service, because I feel like you don't really get to know the person. You form a judgment, you form an opinion of who you see on social media. The profile that you see, you already have like a bias or an idea of what that person's like. And sometimes you may just not even want to get to know the person and miss out on a great person because they just weren't very good at presenting themselves on social media,
Yeah, you're right. Because through texting, through an app, you can't see someone's or hear someone's tone or see their face expression. So people can take it the wrong way. Or like Sandeep, she's a person full of, life, and she likes to joke and laugh. but through a texting, she comes off very dry. Like to the point where it seems like you're very uninterested.
Yeah, unless I
Like-
really know them.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are really good through texting and through messaging. And then when you see them, it's like dry. And sometimes just their personality, or they're nervous, or they're shy. And
Yes.
it's easy for you to be behind, you know, a phone or whatever and say things to someone. But then in person, there's like no connection.
You know, I came across someone like that who was very funny. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, this guy is interesting. He's funny. And, you know, I was just chatting with him for a few days. And, you know, then he started acting weird. And I was like, you know, hey, I don't feel comfortable talking to you anymore, you know. And I said, I wish you luck. And all of a sudden, like, he took it that very offensively. And he went from like a really funny person to a really like evil. He started to still engage with me through the conversation. He was still trying to talk to me. He was sending me songs and this and that. I said, no, please, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. I should have blocked him right away, but I didn't. I wasn't thinking that he was really, really bad. And then you know what he does? He sends me a picture of a plate with fruits with the knife stuck to them. Yeah,
Oh,
I literally tried to. We never met.
Oh my God.
Psycho.
I never said, oh, I like you or I love you. Or I wasn't leading at all. I will never do that to anyone. To me, I was like, oh, wow, this person is funny. And
then he turned out to be a psycho.
I think that did it to me.
Well, it's got to mess with you. KJ, what about you? Do you have any stories of any psychos or any experiences that you would like to share?
Maybe not super psycho, but like you definitely come across weirdos or someone that might be too forward, or definitely maybe give off creep vibes. And when you come across people like that, you definitely, first thing you have to think about is your safety. You know, you hear these stories of girls getting murdered, you know, because they've rejected a guy, you know, whether it's through an app or through because they were dating or whatever. It can happen to both, of course. You know, there's stalkers, there's serial killers. There's one thing, like as a girl, you always have to be careful with safety. Thank God, knock on wood, I've never had any crazy stories like that where I feel like someone's gonna do harm to me. But you definitely do come across like weirdos or creeps, and then you just have to, you know, kind of find a polite, nice way. Like you don't want to make enemies because at the end of the day, you never know, especially in the world we live in now. Like I feel like anyone can just like pull up your address or, you know, where you work. Because that's like one of the first things we ask, right? Like, oh, what do you do for work? Where do you work? And you share this information with strangers. And as a girl, you have to be very, even as a guy, but, you know, mostly statistically speaking, you know, as a girl, you have to be very careful with what you share with the stranger, you know, because like in the beginning, they might seem very nice and very normal. And until, you know, a few days go by or weeks go by, or until you say something that they don't like. And their true self comes out, or when you meet them and things don't go well, you have to be very careful. So you have to just back out of that, like in a very calm way.
It's very scary. Like the way we don't think of these things because we're not on it. We're not using it. Right. And then a lot of times, I think you just kind of forget about these things. So you just automatically assume like you're going to be safe. Like someone on this app isn't going to do that. But like you said, you don't know this person. And sometimes you could be dating someone you met in person and they end up, you know, reacting that way too. Because you never know, like you said, you don't know how someone truly is until you've been with them for a long time. You've lived life with them. You've gone through different ups and downs and you see how they react and how they behave. It's almost like you go on these apps and you're like fast forwarding everything. Like, let me get to know you. What is, you know, what are you doing? What are our connections? And it's like, you're trying to fast forward it into this, but there's also all these other people. So there's like really no connection, no romance.
Romance is dead.
In it.
Yeah, romance is dead. People don't know what romance is actually. It's not like how back in time, people, sometimes guys used to be scared to talk to you. Like you would know they have crush on you. Right? And the way they will approach you slowly, they'll take days. And, you know.
I do feel like guys don't approach anymore, definitely. I feel like that's the reason why people don't meet organically. I feel like guys are a little hesitant to approach people. I feel like a few years back, guys would approach a girl at the bar, at a restaurant, or whatever it is. That doesn't happen a lot anymore. I don't know what it is. Maybe like the fear of rejection. And it's funny because you shared that story of your parents and how your dad had that fear of rejection. So he rejected your mom automatically.
Yeah.
I guess it's like human psychology. Like people don't want to be rejected, you know? They're scared of rejection.
Yeah. It's also some people like us who are like trying to date within our Desi community.
I definitely think that when you're so limited to your community, it's hard to find a genuine connection, because I feel like the pressure of it too, to like look for someone in your culture and your like religion, you kind of have to oversee and overlook a lot of things. So like my experience I had with someone that I like had a connection with one time, we connected right away, and the text, everything was going so well. I was like, oh, this is a very emotionally mature person. And where we met after maybe 3 or 4 days of like talking, where I was very comfortable meeting this person because culturally, religiously, like he just seemed very, very mature and very respectful and very nice, kind. And so where I was comfortable to be like, yeah, we should see each other this week. And when I did, it happens to be like one of the worst dates ever, because it hasn't happened a lot with me, but he was one of them that like tried to get physical on the date, where I had to be like, no, you know? Yeah. And I was caught off guard because of
the way he portrayed himself.
Religious persona he put on. Like, I'm so religious. All I do is pray, and I love God and all of this, where I was like, okay, like this one can't be a creep, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're very religious. And where he tried to like, you know, he wanted to like hold my hand or whatever it was. And I felt so uncomfortable leaving, where then that my safety, you know, antenna like went off, where I'm like, I need to leave the situation without him wanting to kill me. Yeah. So I had to still be like respectful, even though I was very uncomfortable. And of course, as a girl, we all know this is like girl code. We share our locations with our friends whenever we go see someone. And that's a thing too now. But I had to leave that situation, you know, respectfully, safely, even though I really wanted to just like run out of there. And, you know, these things do kind of like traumatize you, or like you develop a lot of trust issues, because now the next guy that tells me they're very religious, I'm not going to want to see this guy, you know?
You're not going to automatically like take their word for it.
Right. And that's the confusion and the dilemma. Like, what do you believe? What do you not believe? Like, who do you give a chance to? Who do you not? And everyone tells you, like, because everyone's in your ear about it, like, get married, give everyone a chance, like, put yourself out there. But when you do and you go through these experiences, you'd never want to again. Yeah. Like, you don't want to talk to the next person. You don't want to go on these apps anymore. You know, it kind of ruins it for you, where maybe the next person will be a genuine connection, but because now you've put up all these walls, and you have trust issues, and now you want to go through their social media before you go on a date with them, like it does ruin the entire experience of meeting someone genuinely, like today's culture.
There is no mystery.
So what's the solution, guys? Like what do you, I almost feel like we need to go back to our parents' day and age. It's just like, you know, I feel like humans, and I want to say men, but then I think even women too, they were built with character. They had a lot of character. Their word meant something, right? Like, you know, I'm sure there are people who you couldn't trust even back then, but for the most part, integrity, commitment, loyalty, your word, like all these things meant something. And over the years, we've lost all that.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Absolutely.
Words don't matter to a lot of people anymore.
Definitely. I feel like actions over words, like you can't believe everything people say to you, people tell you. You definitely have to go for actions, like see their actions before their words, because nowadays, you know, like I said, sitting in the comfort of your home behind a screen, you can say anything to a person. Yeah. But I think nowadays, because everyone's kind of very aware of these things, people are like, okay, look out for red flags, look for green flags. People have made categories of that. And unfortunately, you just have to keep going. Like if someone brings you someone, or someone, recommends a person, or you meet someone if you're very lucky, organically at a grocery store or coffee shop, or someone approaches you, like Sandeep said the other day, like you have to give it a shot. You have to just take that little risk, like go on a single date. Like I definitely think we need to cut back on the whole texting and cut back on talking to someone for weeks over the phone, or just sit down with the person, like have a human interaction with the person. And someone said this to me, you have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to your prince.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like physically you have to kiss everybody, but I'm saying, you have to just give yourself that chance and give a person a chance to just sit down. And sometimes, that one date will do it for you. That one, you never know. It's like playing the lotto. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe this one date, that'll be your person. Because I do believe in destiny. I do believe in, fate. Like when you're meant to be with someone, people or an app or whatever, a place, time, location will get you guys together.
The stars will align.
The stars will align, yes. And I do believe in that. I am a strong believer, but you have to just do your part and just show up.
I think that's very well said. Definitely do your part.
This feels like it's a lot emotionally, like a lot for whoever is there behind the app, dealing with it. And I don't know, how do you guys keep yourself going? Or what breaks do you take? Or how do you keep yourself kind of sane through all of it?
I definitely think talking about it helps. Like when we share our experience with another person that's going through the same thing, which a lot of people are, when you know that someone else has been through the same exact thing as you and you're able to like share your experiences, it helps.
Validation.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm not a weirdo. Like, okay,
you're not alone.
I'm not alone. Like, okay, guys are like this or girls are like that. I'm sure guys are doing it too. It really helps.
Yeah.
It really, really does help. When I see like these TikToks or like social media, people laugh about it. Like they laugh about their situation. There's so many memes and stuff about it on like first dates and about catfishing and ghosting. You kind of have to just laugh about it sometimes and
make light
you can't
of the
take everything to
situation.
heart. Like, oh my God, my heart's broken again. Like you can't take it like that. Yeah. I've seen the girl's side from a guy. Like one of my guy friends was on the app and he'd like swipe and I'd see like his point of view on it. And because they're so like, I feel like guys are very visual creatures. So they swipe more on like, they'll look at the person. Oh no, yes, no. They don't even read the description. Like they go very based off looks, where girls like will still kind of take our time. Like, okay, maybe the guy's like a 7, whatever, but we'll be like, let's look at the description. Okay, seems like a genuine person. We'll take it. But like I've seen like guys go through that and they're like, no, next. No. Oh, she's pretty. Okay. Yes. Without even reading the description.
Yeah. So this person may not even be compatible otherwise, but it's just based on the looks.
Yeah, and it's like human psychology comes in, whether with apps, no apps. We're so different, with how we view dating and marriage and rejection. And
well, there's a reason they say men are from Mars and women are from Venus,
Yes. Yes.
I have a question for you guys. What would you tell like the 22-year-old KJ or 22-year-old Sandeep? Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self, or even our listeners that are in their early 20s that are entering the dating field?
I would say pay attention to your surroundings.
Pay attention to your surroundings, okay?
Don't rely on online dating. Try not to go there, actually.
Okay, so no to online dating. Try to meet someone organically in person if you can.
In the physical world, yeah.
And what about you, KJ? Do you have any advice for someone who's just entering the dating field?
I definitely, what I tell friends or like people that are younger than me, I always say start early. I'm like, because it might take you some time. It might not. You might kick it off with the first person you match. But I definitely say start early. Like I said, you definitely know more about yourself too in that journey of what you like, what you can tolerate, what you don't like, what are your boundaries, what are your lines. And another thing is the whole believe in actions, not words.
Yeah.
don't get reeled in by what someone is telling you. Do their words match their action? Because someone can tell you they are X, Y, and Z and they will do X, Y, and Z for you, but that may
Until
never
you
happen
see it.
until
Proof
you
is
see
in the
it.
pudding.
Definitely. Exactly. Believe in actions. Look out for red flags. But at the same time, also, like Sandeep said, like, don't be too judgmental. Give someone a chance. Listen, hear them out. We're human beings. We all kind of, go through change. We all make mistakes, but we also go through change and we evolve personally. So don't be too judgmental of someone's like past or what they are. Like, I feel like we sometimes have a very strict list of what we like, but no one's perfect.
Keep an open mind.
Keep an open mind. Look at actions. Make sure that actions match the words. And don't just, stay true to yourself and what you like. And don't try to change yourself for someone. Don't try to compress yourself because someone doesn't like this or that. Little things okay. Compromise is okay, but be who you are. You know, you don't want to have to put on this act for someone because at the end of the day, you're going to marry someone and your true self will come out.
Yeah, exactly.
You want someone to love you for you.
Yeah. It's very important for a girl,
not
to go
lose
for
her
someone
identity.
who loves her for who she is.
Yeah.
Because remember that saying, they have this all over the internet now. No one's died marrying late, but women have died marrying the wrong person,
Or even marrying.
Take your time. Take your time, Take your time. I know a lot of people that are in unhappy marriages and they live a very, very unhappy life. And they're just because of culture, because of taboo, they couldn't come out of it or they have to do it because now they have kids and kids get involved. And it's very hard, especially in this day and age where we have the freedom to live our life how we want to live. It's hard to just settle. It's hard to just be like, you know what? Yeah, like just for kids or whatever. I feel like women are waking up now where they're like, you don't have to sacrifice your whole life and yourself for someone. You have the right to choose a good partner. You deserve to choose love. And yes, it may work, it may not work, but it's always good to say, you know what? I got to choose this person and I love this person and this person gets me.
Yeah.
It's always nice to be able to, choose and to be able to make that decision for yourself. Man, hopefully, we make the right decision. But like I said, you don't want to live an unhappy life with someone. And I think that's why women are also taking their time choosing and going through all these frogs to find their prince.
Well, I hope that you both find your prince soon or whenever it's meant for you, whenever the stars align and whenever it's meant to be, it will be. We like to end each episode with a golden biscuit. So I'm going to ask you, KJ, to share with us what you think the golden biscuit of today's episode should be.
What I think today's golden biscuit is, at the end of the day, everyone's going to ask you, when are you getting married? When are you having children? When are you getting a house? When are you changing your job? But no one really truly asks you, are you content? Are you happy? Are you satisfied with where you are in life right now? And that could be whether you're single or working a job or not having children, wherever you are in life. No one truly asks you, are you content in this stage of your life right now? They'll always ask you about things you don't have yet. And if you live your life trying to satisfy and answer everyone's question, society's question of when's next, you'll never truly be content, which I think is a beautiful feeling. And it's not defined by a relationship or by a person or by material things. It's how you feel on the inside, how your heart feels and your mind feels, how at peace you are with yourself and your life in the stage you're in right now.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. So with that thought, we will be back next week. Thank you so much, Sandeep and KJ, for joining us and enlightening us and giving us a lot to think about, really, because I didn't realize it's as complicated as it is right now. But Again, wish you all the best, and we'll
thank
be back
you.
next week. Thank you for listening to ROOH. We appreciate you joining us as we cultivate a community of strong, empowered women, one story at a time. If you or someone you know has a story you'd like to share, please contact us at roohdaraz@gmail.com. That's ROOHDARAAZ@gmail.com. Also, do us a favor and please share this podcast with your sisters, your mom, your friends, aunties, your eyebrow lady, like any lady you know. You get the idea. Till next time, Kush raho, be well.